Welcome to my book report, The 20 Time Project, How Educators Can Launch Google's Formula for Future-Ready Innovation. The author, Kevin Brookhauser, is a master's in education. Kevin teaches digital citizenship and computer science at York School in Monterey, California, and is a Google for Education certified innovator and certified trainer. Kevin speaks at conferences he has keynoted around the world to tens of thousands of individuals about project-based learning, coding in schools, and how technology will transform education. So the big question, what is the 20 Time Project? The 20 Time Project is exactly the title of the book. It is also known as the Genius Hour. It is how educators can launch Google's formula for future-ready learners. Google has an unofficial policy that allows their engineers to take on independent projects to solve real problems. The book itself promotes 1 period a day, or 20% of the student's time, to pursue independent projects that each student has chosen for themselves. They receive lessons in entrepreneurship and demonstrate project proposals and elevator pitches. These lessons teach young minds to make a difference in their communities with tangible benefits. The students end the project with a visual representation and presentation that is open to the community. An important lesson that the book tries to teach is the importance of accidents. Arthur Fry is the creator of the Post-it notes. What he was actually trying to create is something stickier than super glue. What he ended up actually creating is something less sticky. Then birthed the Post-it note, an object that can move around object to object while remaining the same kind of sticky substance. The book uses the word accident, however, the importance of accidents. However, I see this as the importance of failure. Arthur Fry was trying to create something and failed. He was trying to create something stickier than super glue and did not succeed in that. But in his failure came great success. This is something that students need to learn. Success is not black and white, nor is it linear. Success can look several different ways, and there is no setbacks. Failure is just one step closer to success. This is such an important lesson to teach kids. Another lesson the book teaches is to praise actions, not talents. Those praised in their persistence and careful attention tend to try harder and longer on future questions. Eventually, the student will understand their measure as a person isn't tied to their performance outcome, but their work along the way. And as a result, they tend to do better down the road than those praised for their early promise. Leading the student to keep striving and creating. The third lesson is encouraging risky ideas. The book gives an example, a fellow you may have heard of named Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs founded Apple in 1976. 9 years later, the company board fired Jobs because they didn't understand the need for visionary, risky, out on the edges leadership for a company. The CEO that fired Jobs said, "You don't make mistakes because if you lose, you're out." That was an obvious mistake on its own. Steve Jobs started another company with crazy ideas and innovative thinking that was on the upward, and Apple began to fizzle out. Apple begged Steve Jobs back into Apple, and he accepted, and the rest is history. So what are my thoughts on this book? The 20 Time Project is the perfect method to guide each student's creative mind. Kevin does a great job with providing tips and do's and don'ts. Where Kevin seems to struggle throughout the book is how to include the 20 Time Project with the California standards. He kind of leaves it to the instructors to figure out that part out with their school. However, I feel that if you are going to write an entire book about your project, giving pointers about how to approach your principal and school board should be in it. But maybe that's just me. However, if you are successful at donating 20% of the school day to creative thinking for the betterment of the community, he definitely gives fantastic pointers, starting with groups. Kevin recommends groups of 4 or less and requiring each student to blog about the work they have done. He also encourages check-in conversations, which is more of a one-on-one conversation where he discusses the group's struggles and challenges. This prepares each student for future group work dramas in their career. Overall, this book should be inspiring to all instructors. The 20 Time Project is a way for students to learn how to create and give back to their community. Though not all projects include giving back to their communities, the students still learn how to be innovative and demonstrate entrepreneurship. The book does well to remind us that people like Steve Jobs, Benjamin Franklin, and Elon Musk were deemed crazy and idealistic. However, the world needs unrealistic thinkers to make the impossible possible. The book also does well in reminding us that we do not need to create reusable rockets. We can create post-it notes or even feed the homeless. The book is worthwhile because it promotes the encouragement to be great. If we just took 20% of our time every day to develop something great, where can we go?